Hello and welcome to today's community conversation. Today we are talking about the lessons that I have learned, or all of the things that intermittent fasting has taught me over the past 5 years. So welcome. If you're joining us maybe for the first time, you're here for a great discussion. I'm going to share with you all of these amazing lessons. So hopefully you will be encouraged to start this kind of lifestyle for yourself as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're joining us on YouTube, and that little bell notification. That way you'll be notified when we go live. And then if you're joining us on Facebook, there's always that follow button as well, and then the little drop down carrot that you can select, and you can pick how you want to be notified when we go live or upload new content as well. Okay, so today is our community conversation. So I need you guys to be part of this conversation with me and share with me your experiences as well. So please, in the comment section, what I want you to do today when you jump on is let me know whether you're still in the research phase of intermittent fasting, maybe you're new to intermittent fasting, or how long you have also been practicing an intermittent fasting lifestyle. I want to know where we are in our audience today. So I need to know how long you've been practicing as well. Okay, so we are celebrating 5 years of intermittent fasting. Our first intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course took place in April of 2017, and we have been conducting courses every month since that first one in 2017. I myself have been practicing intermittent fasting as well. I first started practicing intermittent fasting when I came back from an annual physical at my doctor's office. And my doctor politely informed me that I was a pre-diabetic, very close to being a full-blown diabetic. At the time, I knew that there were some things that were feeling off with my body. I had picked up some weight I was really frustrated with and unable to get rid of. I was accumulating body fat. My memory was going so seriously that I was forgetting my kids' names. I couldn't find my car in the parking lot. I've told all of these stories before. And I was just feeling very unlike myself, right? And so when I got the diagnosis that I was pre-diabetic, I was shocked and then not really shocked at the same time, right? I knew something was wrong, but the last thing that I suspected was a diabetic diagnosis, because I was exercising like a fiend and I was eating quote unquote clean. I was doing all of the things that I was supposed to be doing to keep my body healthy. I was a practicing health and fitness coach for women. So I was doing all of the things I had been taught to do, yet I ended up a pre-diabetic. So today I'm going to share with you the things that I've learned in this journey that I have gone through and now help other women go through as well as a fasting mindset coach. And hopefully you will either connect with some of these lessons, or they'll give you a little aha moment type of experience, and will help you build the confidence that you need to practice this lifestyle as well. The one thing that I always go back to when I think about my journey over the past few years is that 5 years was going to pass anyway, right? 5 years is going to pass anyway. At least I implemented some things so that the 5-year point for me has been an amazing journey, and I'm so much better off 5 years later. So keep that in mind when we're going through these lessons. Time is going to pass anyway. Okay. The first lesson that I learned about intermittent fasting was that weight loss happens when weight loss is ready, right? We can't force it. We don't get to decide how our body is going to lose weight. It took me one entire year to lose the 20-ish pounds that my body was accumulating as a result of going from insulin resistant to that pre-diabetic state. An entire year, right? So time and consistency will be that thing that when your body balances out its hormones, and for me, the hormones that I needed to balance out were my hunger hormones that were off because of insulin, then the weight just dropped off. Literally, it felt like the weight came off like overnight once my body was ready to let it go. I couldn't decide just because it was a Wednesday and I stepped on a scale that my body was going to weigh less. My body had to decide that. And I just had to listen to the signs and signals so that I was preparing an environment for weight loss to happen. It's all I had to do. I still believe that today, and I teach that today to women. The other thing that I want you to understand is weight loss is not indicative of a healthy body, right? Because I was losing and gaining weight before I started intermittent fasting like a champ. I can tell you that the past 5 years, I have had a very consistent body weight. I weigh very infrequently. So even if it goes up and down, I couldn't tell you because I don't measure my success on that. My body physique rarely changes, and that's the thing that I focus on the most. So weight loss happens when weight loss is ready. Prepare your body, prepare the environment in your body so that when weight loss is ready to happen because of the hormonal balance you have in your body, it's just going to happen. So we just get out of the way. The second thing I learned about intermittent fasting is that Ann Parham, I get to decide how I age. I don't have to go by society. I don't have to go by stereotypes. I don't have to go by what my age is supposed to be. I decide how I age. And I do that by creating a healthy lifestyle for myself and a healthy mindset for myself. I can tell you now, after these years of intermittent fasting, that my skin is healthier, that my mouth is healthier. So I talk a lot about how my dental hygiene improves year after year. My hormones are healthier. My thyroid is healthier. My brain is healthier. All of those things are what I like to call successful aging, right? So I want to age successfully. I define what that means. It doesn't matter how old I am. It doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I define how I age. The other thing that's really helped me with intermittent fasting is what I teach here as well, and that's the trifecta, right? So it's not just intermittent fasting. It's, are you listening to the signs and signals when you're putting things in, on, around your body? Those are usually signs that things are working or not working. And then the third thing is are training smart, right? How are you training your body to prepare yourself for how it is you want to physically show up in your future? So I'm defining all of that for myself as I am aging, right? So I started this when I was just about 50 years old. I'm going to be 55 this year. I am improving my overall health and well-being and who I am as a woman by practicing intermittent fasting. So I get to define that for myself. The other thing I learned about intermittent fasting is body fat. Body fat is just an energy source, right? We're either going to store it or we're going to utilize it. And we, again, get to decide how that happens. We decide that through what we do in our fasting window, what we do in our feasting window, and again, what we do in our training window. So I don't have to have body fat stored on me if I don't want to. I just have to make the decisions to take what's in storage and bring it to the surface to be utilized as an energy source. That's all body fat is. Body fat doesn't define who we are as people. Body fat doesn't define who we are as women. Body fat is not the sign of success or failure. Body fat doesn't happen because of food choices that we make. Body fat happens because we are not preparing an environment for our body to utilize what we have in storage. That simply is all body fat is. Number 4, listening to my body. So I talked about listening to the signs and signals, right? So when you do something, your body's going to send you a signal or a sign. That's either going to be a positive feeling or a negative feeling. If you get really in tune with your body, you can listen to those signs and signals when things aren't working the way you had planned, right? The more in tune you become with your body, the more informed you can be about the decisions you were making. I've shared here before how a soy candle in my guest bathroom was making me sick, and I wasn't even in the bathroom, right? I kept wondering what that nagging feeling was and why I wasn't feeling good and why I was having all these reactions when everything else in my life seemed to be fine. And it was one lone candle that I forgot to check in a bathroom that was causing me to not feel my best. So make sure you're listening to those signs and signals. Be your own investigator, be your own detective. Search ingredients labels, search product labels, and then listen to the signs and signals your body is sending you. It is telling you things for a reason. They're like warning flags, right? We can either listen to them and do the work to figure out what that sign or signal means, or we can numb them out and avoid them or disregard them, and we can end up really sick and unhappy with the way that we're aging. So listen to your body. The beautiful thing about being in a fasted state is you aren't doing anything to interrupt your body chemistry or your hormones. When you're in a fasted state, that's when you get the best signs and signals, especially when you enter into that break fast environment. If you're doing something that's not working for you, your body's going to let you know. So make sure you're listening. The fifth thing that I've learned about an intermittent fasting lifestyle is it helps you become more confident. Why is that? When we do good things for our body, we just show up better. So when you're looking your best from your own vantage point, when you're feeling your best from your own vantage point, you show up more confident. You just do. You're not preoccupied about your fatigue. You're not preoccupied about how your clothes are feeling. You're not preoccupied about what other people are thinking about you. You're not weighed down by sugar addictions and the highs and lows that brings on in a day. You're clear-headed. You have tons of energy to get you through the day. That's what we should be doing. That's how we should be showing up, regardless of the season of life that we're in, regardless of our age. We deserve to show up confident in every season of life that we're in. If you find that you're feeling a little less confident these days, or you're not sure of yourself, I promise you it has to do with lifestyle choices. Once you improve your lifestyle choices and you do better for yourself, you show up better for yourself, and that's where confidence comes in. The sixth thing I learned about practicing an intermittent fasting lifestyle is my mindset determines my outcome. Right? So if I believe something is going to work for me, it's going to work for me. If I believe I deserve to wake up every day looking and feeling my best, then I'll make the choices that will allow that to happen. If I believe I define aging, then I'll practice those habits as well. All of these things are really mindset related, right? If you believe you deserve to wake up every single day looking and feeling your best, and living your most authentic life, then you will practice that mindset. If you find that you're falling victim to some negative mindset, or maybe you're allowing other people to get in your mind and control how it is you're thinking about yourself, you owe yourself the favor to do some mindset work. I promise you that a lot of the success that I have had with reversing a lot of the things that I was unhappy with have to do with my mindset. When I first started intermittent fasting, I fasted 20 hours. You could hear me squeak. I fasted so clean because I wanted to make sure that I reversed anything that was going to keep me from living my best life moving forward, right? That was a mindset that I created for myself. I fasted as if my life depended on it because I felt at that time that was what was happening to me. I either had an opportunity to continue to break down, or I had the opportunity to improve how I was moving forward. Make sure you have that right mindset, because life gets crazy, life gets busy, life will pull you off track. And if your mindset is not set on you improving your overall health and well-being, I promise you life will pull you off track, and you don't want to let that happen to yourself. Number 7, intermittent fasting has taught me patience. Took me an entire year for that scale to move. I lost 20 pounds in what felt like overnight, but in actuality, it was a year of me staying consistent through that time frame with that mindset of I'm fasting as if my life depended on it for me to see that weight loss. If I had only started intermittent fasting to lose weight, I promise you I would have never gotten past the first few months. I fasted to improve my overall health and well-being, and so that I could age successfully. That's where the patience comes in. Your body, again, is going to lose the weight when your body is ready to lose the weight. You don't get to decide the time frame for that. So intermittent fasting has really, I think the biggest lesson it has taught me is patience. Number 8, the most surprising lesson I learned about practicing intermittent fasting is that I now live for the tomorrow. I now live for 5 years from now, for 10 years from now, for 20 years from now. The decisions that I make always come from me envisioning myself in my future. How do I want to show up for myself? How do I want to show up for my family? How do I want to show up for grandkids or future vacations or adventures that we're going to have as a family? And the decisions I make about how I serve my body and how I show up for myself every day always come from me seeing myself in the future. And when you can get a good visual of yourself in the future, making decisions that are health oriented and will really give you the vitality and the opportunity to age successfully comes so easy because you want the opportunity for that future self. So do some mindset work on this as well. This was the most surprising lesson that I've learned, and probably one of the ones that I cherish the most, because it has nothing to do with diabetic states or glucose levels or ketone levels. It all has to do of the vision that I have for myself. And I think this is probably the first season of my life that I've ever really lived honestly for the future. I've always reached for the past as a reference point of what I thought I was supposed to be because I once had it. Now I do everything for the opportunity of what I hope to be in my future. And that is a true blessing. So I want to ask you, what will you learn in the next 5 years? 5 years are going to pass anyway, right? If you're feeling stuck or you're feeling unhappy or you're not liking the way you're aging, what will you do from today over the course of the next 5 years, consistently over that time frame, to ensure that your future self is everything that you hope for, dream for, and imagine for yourself and the people that you love? It all starts with the decisions that you make today and the consistency you're willing to commit to that to ensure that that's going to happen for you. This has been probably the best 5 years for me as a woman. Once I really understood the power that I have to control my future self. If there's any lesson I wanted to leave you with today is you have that power too. All you have to do is decide, right? And make those decisions about the things that you're currently doing today that are no longer working for you and no longer serving you, and question those and consider an alternative so that you can have a different outcome. So I hope this was encouraging and inspirational and refreshing for you guys today. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. You just have to put the work in and really do, I would say, do the mindset work before you do anything else. What is it that you really say you want for yourself? What is it today that you're not happy with? And what can you start incorporating as far as lifestyle changes to turn those unhappy things into happy things that you have the power to control? And it's really as simple as that. And then everything else is just experimentation, right? Carla, hello from Southeast Texas. Girlfriend, the weather is great here in Texas today. Minaxi, hello. Carla, intermittent fasting for 6 months. Awesome, girlfriend. You're on your way. Yvonette, since May 2020, you are a grad. Teresa is a grad also and has an amazing success story. She's been fasting for 2.5 years. Lynn is still researching. I've experienced and practiced it, but not consistently. Lynn, the one thing I could tell you is consistency is magic, right? Once you get that consistent opportunity of putting yourself in that fasted state, that's really where the magic happens. And so I would encourage you to get on something that you can at least have some boundaries set around, so you can fast long, feast well, and train smart. Yvonne, hello, girlfriend. I was in your June 2017 course, still fasting, still feeling great. Yeah, so she was our third course, I guess, from 2017. So I always love when you stop back around, Yvonne. Tracy, hi, great to be here. March 2020 grad, doing well, love 20 hours of fasting. I would say I've been doing it for 5 months. Awesome, girlfriend. That's a great time frame. Experienced with fasting, it feels good and it is really easy for me now, but the feasting still makes me nervous. With Diane's help, I'm learning to trust my body so I can heal itself. Yeah, here's the thing about feasting, and it makes everyone nervous, and I think the nervous comes from the fact that for so long we depended on people to tell us how to feed our body, and we never really had a good solid opportunity to just do what you're doing, and that's listen to your own body, right? So the thing about dieting that is so frustrating is that we take a set of guidelines that worked for a certain group of people, and we're expected to follow that to a T so it works. And it never works in the long term because it has nothing to do with our life and us being authentic. So when I say live your most authentic life, what I mean by that is find the things that make you feel good and look good in all aspects of your life. And food happens to be one major part of that, because the thing about food is we can't ever get away from it, right? It's something that we need to have in our life, and we use it to socialize, and we use it for traditions, and we use it for family celebrations and heritage, and I mean, all kinds of things that food is implemented into our life for. And you have to find balance and happiness with all of those things first in order to really incorporate a feasting lifestyle that you can have for the rest of your life. The other thing that I always recommend about making feasting choices today is consider how you can take some of the things that you really enjoy, but you might question and find an alternative for those. So something that might be just a little bit on the healthier side of things could just be ingredients that you change, and keep those in as well. And then what I always recommend about feasting is find your go-tos and then rinse and repeat those, and save the variations of feasting for the special times. So for the wedding you get invited to, or the birthday party, or the Friday night date night with your husband, that's when we loosen the reins a little bit, and all the rest of the time we focus on the foods that we found that work for us. And that really has helped me a lot as well. Emily, just started IF about 2 months ago, really enjoying learning from your YouTube channel and IG, hoping to join a course at some point. Emily, what's stopping you, girlfriend? Our next course starts on April the 3rd. The only regret I ever hear from women about our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Women course is that they waited too long to join. Once you get in, then you get to practice this, and that's where you really start implementing this as a lifestyle, as you understand what's going on with your body. So Emily, I encourage you to not wait on the sidelines too long and just get into a class with us as soon as you can, because the only regret you're going to have is not getting into a class sooner. Trust me. Shauna, January 2021 graduate. Congratulations, Diane. You are a true inspiration. Thank you so much. I hope to really empower women to start making decisions for themselves, by themselves, right? We don't need other people to tell us how to feed ourselves. We don't need to have other people tell us what's right and wrong for our body. We get to decide that once we're informed about how our body works. And that is really what I like to teach, is figuring out what your body chemistry is, what makes you happy, what makes you feel your best, what's going to emotionally and mentally also feel satisfying for you, and also being very clear about what it is that you say that you really want for yourself. Because oftentimes, if all we're ever focusing on is losing weight, and we'll do whatever it takes to lose that weight, we're not mentally and emotionally happy. We might physically reach a certain goal for a short period of time, but that's never sustainable for the long term. We know that because we've all done that before. So you have to really clearly define what it is you say you really honestly want for yourself, and then build your lifestyle around that for sure. Tanya, I have since August 2020, but my program has morphed for the better since the beginning. Grad of January 2021 class, love IF and how it makes me feel. I plan to stay with it indefinitely. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Patty, 2020 grad and feel great, still working to be better. Yeah, we all are, aren't we? I mean, there's no way we're ever going to hit perfection. So I think having that kind of mindset of trying to be better every day than we were yesterday is a great way to live. So congratulations. Tracy, March 2021 grad, not 2020 grad. Oh, girlfriend, yeah, so you're a recent grad, just this month, and you're already doing well. So I'm super excited for you. Teresa, I had to decide, and I have to keep deciding. Yeah, always, every day. Teresa, you know the questions I have you ask yourself, right? How long will I fast? How well will I feast? And the third one is, how smart will I train? And I'm going to share with you guys, Teresa, in our Midlife Mindset Shift course and our current March intermittent fasting course. I'm going to share with you what I did to my body chemistry today from when I woke up to just right before we started this live, and how drastic that changed by certain decisions I made throughout my day today. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. Miracle Milan, I think it is. Hello. Lynn, you're welcome. Mary, starting today, 24. I'm 57 years old. Awesome, girlfriend. Remember, when you just start practicing intermittent fasting, it's very, very crucial to keep those fasts clean for sure, and really focus on what you're doing in your feasting window. And then you get to the point where you, what I call, you become healed, and then you have a little bit more flexibility with what you're doing with your fasting and your feasting. But it's really important in the very beginning that if you say you want to reverse some things, that is always going to be your main focus until you know that those things have been reversed. So I fasted for the first year as if my life depended on it, and I didn't make any changes or flexibility or anything until I had proof that I had healed my body. So stick with it until you get to that point for sure. And then Tony, I'm a May 2020 grad, still fasting. I love it, you guys. Brenda, interested in fasting, but having issues with cravings in the evenings, and I'm having a hard time because I'm always hungry. Brenda, you're a perfect candidate for intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. I teach you guys all of that inside the course and why that's happening and what you can do to remedy that. So I would love to have you in class. All the information about joining our class is always in the description box, or you can go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com to find out more information. Also, and then Mary, I decided yesterday to start today, 24, then you popped up, it's meant to be. Of course it's meant to be. I always tell women who come to me and say, oh, I just happened to find your YouTube video or Facebook page, or it was an accident or whatever that I found you. And I'm like, no, there's always a reason, right? If you're searching for something and you find the answer, then that's the purpose exactly for what you were looking for. So I'm happy you're here. Keep up with it, girlfriend. You're only going to get better with time. And then Lynn, where are the details about the course? So the information is always posted in my description of the videos, and I'm going to type this in here. I can't type and talk at the same time. I'm going to type a link right here for you as well. Okay, got that. Let me see. Okay, so I just posted a link for both Facebook and YouTube. So it's fortoday'sagingwoman.com, and there's information on the front page there about our next intermittent fasting course. It starts on April the 3rd, I promise you. And I'm going to start sharing, if you're on my email list, some of the comments that came from our courses that we've had this year already about how great women are feeling after 3 weeks. 3 weeks. You can totally reset everything that's going on with you that you're not happy about. You'll understand what's going on with your body and your hunger hormones by the end of class as well. And you'll be more informed about how it is that you're making those feasting choices as well. I don't tell you what to eat. I have you think. And then we talk about some of the social and emotional aspects of creating a lifestyle for ourselves that's really healthy, and some of the things that we go through mentally and emotionally with that as well. So, oh, you're right. Okay, sorry, because I can't talk and type at the same time. So let me type it again. Okay, that's it for today's agingwoman.com. Okay, hopefully that's it. Let me know, Roxanne, if that was better for you. I think that's it. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So course starts April the 3rd. Registration closes on April the 2nd. Just get on my email list. I'll get you guys some information that might help you make a decision about jumping in with us. Really, the only regret women have is that they waited too long to get in and they waited on the sidelines. 3 weeks. I give you everything that you need to know to do exactly what I did over the courses these last 5 years. It's not going to take you 5 years. 3 weeks. All you need, and then you just consistently over time keep making informed decisions about how it is you want to move through life. That's as easy as it is. Okay, Roxanne, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. I am closing out my fast, so I'm going to go break my fast. Follow me on Instagram if you want to know how I do those kind of things. And then I am always an open book. So please make sure that you utilize me either here in this community, or you jump into class with us and get some one-on-one support from me as well, and the other members of your community inside of our community group there as well. So 5 years has been fantastic. It has flown by. I feel so much more confident. I feel so much happier. I am so much healthier. I don't struggle with my weight. I don't struggle with body image. I don't struggle about food. I don't count calories. I don't do macros. I don't do any of that. I live very freely, very happily, very healthy, and I want the same for all of you as well. So lots of information out there. Do your research, and if you want to jump into class with us and kind of shortcut it, I'd love to have you as well. Again, we start April 3rd. I will see you guys around this weekend. I'll see you guys on Instagram and Facebook for sure. If you have anything you need from me, always feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday.